Hi, this is Kara. Welcome to Breaking Free Fridays, or welcome back if you've been following this series. It's really great to have you here. Today I was inspired to talk about questions. And are you asking the right questions? How can you empower your questions so that you can empower yourself even more? So, one of the things that is really important in thinking about just the power of language in general, our brain really cues off of questions, and it is driven to find answers to what we ask. And sometimes we get into these patterns of asking certain questions that we might repeat over and over again, and it happens so automatically, or it's almost really operating at an unconscious level. And it's one of those things that they can be questions that we're really kind of saying to ourselves as part of our self-talk, under our breath, or even, reinforcing in conversations with other people. Things like, why does this happen to me? Why is this always happening to me? What did I do wrong? How did I screw this up again? Why am I not good enough? What is wrong with me? Things like that, where you're presupposing something negative, and or something that's really self-deprecating. It's incredibly challenging for our efforts towards empowerment when we circulate this kind of stuff, because as our brain is finding answers to these questions, it continues to bring these kinds of things forward instead of the solutions that we want. And everything has an opportunity for perspective shift. Something that we might not have realized before. We might have an opportunity to see differently. So, in this context of, why is life unfair? Or why is life so hard? Or, why does this always happen to me? Or, something that's presupposing that negative, or as though something is not supposed to be happening that is. Instead, there's an invitation and an opportunity to reframe these into really powerful questions. Things like, how is life working out for me? I love how life is working out for me. How can I show up even more aligned? And how can I love and appreciate myself even more? What kind of miraculous and wonderful things am I going to uncover yet today? There's a totally different framework and energy, as you can see even in these examples that I've been giving on both sides. And because not only our brain operates on trying to find the answers to the questions, but also where our focus is, that's where energy flows. So if we're focusing on those negative things, we're putting energy behind the momentum that is generating that and furthering that, instead of putting energy and momentum behind the solution, the area of gratitude, the opportunities, the invitations. It's another form of flipping that script, if you will. Which can be so incredibly powerful. There are some things, just in terms of kind of incantations or affirmations or things like that, where you can incorporate these questions and asking things that are really powerful, that are particularly useful for you and what you're trying to promote in your own life, how you're trying to design things differently in your own life. Things like, how can I love and appreciate myself even more? Or I've shared in other videos, there was a good part of my life where I was agnostic at best. And so there faith has been an area of struggle and growth, huge growth for me. It's an area I continue to work on. And so one of the things that I like to ask a question of every day, multiple times, is, how can I recognize and appreciate even more in this moment God's constant benevolent presence and guidance? And as you'll notice in kind of dissecting that, there's a presupposition that that God is already doing all of these incredible things. I'm strengthening my recognition of its existence, that it's already here, it's already happening, it's already been happening, and I'm becoming more and more attuned to it, more aware of it. So that's another one. And another powerful one really connects into the gratitude piece. And if you think about abundance and prosperity, it's not just about money. I mean, that is absolutely connected to a mindset. We can have abundance and prosperity in so many different areas of our life, not just representative in the one symbolic area that is money or that particular aspect of wealth. But, think about relationships, connection, health and well-being. Those are incredibly powerful things. Consciousness. I mean, so we can cue in a question that really helps build greater expansion in this area as well. Like, how can I recognize and appreciate even more in this moment my incredible abundance and prosperity and blessings? And it's just like priming you into this state where you're anchored stronger in a place of gratitude, in a place of abundance. But because you have it positioned as a question, it packs a little bit of a greater punch. And that's just because of the way our brains are wired and finding answers, right? So another piece of this that I want to share that's really powerful and probably one of the most important things that we can do in our lives is really aligning to the truth of who we are. And there are a few poignant questions that are so powerful to keep asking yourself, keep journaling on. And they are simple, but incredibly insightful and powerful. And they are, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What do I want in life? And the more that we get to the truth and the depth of the answers to those questions, and the more that we center and anchor in the essence that is our divine nature, our alignment as a spiritual being in a human journey, in this incredible human body, the more that we are able to live from a place of authenticity, of vulnerability, of truth, that's so centered in who we are, that it just exudes this essence that is absolute brilliance and beauty and light. And it allows us to not be kind of swayed and manipulated and moved by external factors that basically keep us small or limit our expression. Because once we dive into the nitty gritty of those self-reflective questions, that's where there is such treasure and gold in really blasting open the doors on clarity, finding ease in how we want to prioritize our lives, because all of a sudden it's all really clear, because we know who we are, why we're here, what we're meant for, what we want. And we can continue as our journeys evolve, as we grow, as we become more empowered. The depth of those answers will continue to enrich. And so I encourage you to take a moment and, start doing those reflections. Weave that into your practices, on a daily basis, or just whatever regular frequency works for you. And I invite you to really start reflecting on areas where you can shift your questions into things that will really light up your empowerment and take yourself to another level. So I'd love to hear any of your thoughts or what questions you've been grappling with, and how you see you might be able to shift those to really bring yourself into a stronger place of empowerment. And if you're liking these videos, please share them with your loved ones. Send a like, subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful week. And here is to your next level of empowerment and breaking free. Bye for now.